Okay, guys, so I haven't done a video in a long time, but so here's what we're gonna be doing. We're gonna be talking basically about wrestling and WrestleMania and Revolution, AEW pay-per-view coming up, and so let's get into it. So it's been reported that basically Matt Hardy is officially done with WWE. His contract will be up at the end of this month. So he's most likely headed to AEW. It's also been reported that he might even be the new leader of the Dark Order. Um, PW Insider has also been kind of confirming that Matt Hardy is kind of linked to AEW, so he might be showing up there at some point in time. What do I think about this? Great for his career because he was not being idolized in WWE programming. In fact, I was very disappointed with WWE for not pushing Matt Hardy and not bringing out his perfect character and gimmick that was being used in TNA, Impact before with Woken, Matt Hardy, and Broken Matt Hardy. Those gimmicks were just fabulous, and WWE completely ruined Matt Hardy going forward, and I just really was so disappointed for Matt because he was so good and with those characters. Jeff is basically still suspended for his incidents this past year. We're not going to be seeing him, and his contract, unfortunately, was being extended. So I don't think we're going to be seeing him anytime soon. Probably not even until after WrestleMania, until he's physically cleared to even compete. And that's even if he still wants to compete at this point in time. Um, let's get into what did I think about the Royal Rumble. I thought it was a perfect event. Not only because of the matches, but I thought that everybody did a fantastic job just promoting the show. The matches themselves, I would give them about a 7.5 to an 8. It was great to see Edge finally return after all these years. I thought he did a great job in the Royal Rumble. I thought he should have won it, honestly, in my opinion, but it's WWE creative, so who knows what's going on there. Um, so we'll move on to what did I honestly think of the Charlotte Flair versus Rhea Ripley situation. I think that it's going to be a great match, honestly. Some people are saying it's not going to be worth watching at Mania. I completely disagree. Rhea Ripley can go. She has an amazing, uh, you know, uh, list of accomplishments in her career so far. And I think Charlotte Flair is going to definitely bring that out in her at WrestleMania because that is going to be one of the better matches there. The feud between Randy Orton and Edge, I think, is going to be a great accomplishment going forward for WrestleMania. And then let's talk about the tag team matches booked. Um, I'm hearing a few things about a ladder match for SmackDown involving Robert Roode, Ziggler, The New Day, and possibly throwing in a third tag team, which might be Morrison and Miz for the tag team titles. I'm actually okay if that happens. I think that that actually would be a really decent match. Um, Daniel Bryan, it sounds like they're going to be going in the direction of him versus Sheamus for WrestleMania. Um, now, those two have fought before at a WrestleMania, and I thought that match was okay. I'm just hoping that it's longer than the last one. The last one lasted less than 2 minutes, probably. Um, it sounds like they are going to be going forward with the Andre the Giant Battle Royal again. They've also confirmed that former stars will be coming back for this event, such as Hornswoggle, Santino Marella, and several other former talents will be involved in that Battle Royal. Um, and it does sound like Bailey will be defending the SmackDown Women's Championship against Naomi. That makes actual perfect sense because Naomi has not been granted that rematch yet from when she was hurt and injured, and she was not granted that rematch. It's also been reported that Vince McMahon has stepped back as far as at shows and being in charge of things, which I'm actually okay with that situation because somebody has to take over for creative because this WrestleMania has to be much better than last year's. Um, Going into the Hall of Fame issues with WWE this year, it sounds like we are getting Batista, the NWO, the British Bulldog, and I want to say the Bella Twins, which I have my own opinion about that, but I'm not going to get into it. I just think that there's so many other talents that deserve to be in the Hall of Fame over those two women, but whatever, it's up to them with WWE management, but um, I don't know. I just think that that's not a smart decision. Um, and then we get Elias versus John Cena. That's what I'm hearing. Is another possible match, um, which makes total sense because of last year's WrestleMania. Some people don't like it, but Cena wants one more match. I guess that's what he's getting. Um, Beyond that, the Fiend Bray Wyatt, uh, has been on a rampage. I mean, he's defeated some pretty noticeable people, honestly, and with this match with Super Showdown with Goldberg, it should be entertaining. Super Showdown, I think, might be better than the last show, but we'll have to see. Um, I think the Fiend going into WrestleMania honestly would be the favored person um, versus Roman Reigns because it sounds like Reigns will be winning the Elimination Chamber match this year. Um, I don't spoiler alert there, but I don't really I'm thinking of about 85% sure that that's what's going to end up happening. Um, Lesnar versus Ricochet at Super Showdown, I think should be a pretty entertaining match. Obviously, I would pick Lesnar to win, and then go on to WrestleMania, obviously, where he would be facing Drew McIntyre. And I think that that would be a great match for WrestleMania going forward as well. Um, so let's get into AEW. I like the AEW shows lately. Hangman Page and Kenny Omega are the tag team champions now. I think that their feud with the Bucks is going to be great going into Revolution. Cody versus MGF should be, again, a great match. Moxley versus Jericho should be amazing. Um, and then I think the other matches that will be booked towards that event should be great for the company going forward. And then if you bring in people like Matt Hardy, in free agency, I think that we're going to get a great show. AEW has been very successful in the ratings going into the last 8 weeks. We've seen a lot of former WWE stars being more involved with AEW, such as Pac and Jack Swagger and Cody Rhodes. Um, and Goldust, obviously. Raven even showed up for this past week's show. Taz on commentary. AEW is building a great fan base, honestly. So, what I really want to talk about as well is this Impact event where they're bringing back the TNA name, apparently, for this pay per view. Um, wow. They want to have an Ultimate X match. They want to bring the King of the Mountain match back. However, there's been absolutely nobody booked for any of these matches or this pay per view. Now they're talking about bringing back Ken Anderson and Eights and Eights, Rob Van Dam. Um, Former Impact stars will be attending, such as um, Wildcat Chris Harris is coming back. I've heard that the Machine Guns are going to be there. Um, and I believe a few other people are going to be in attendance. They've also branched off to Dixie Carter, Vince Russo, former talent. And all I'm going to say about this is, okay, I understand this as a fan that they want to build up their company a little bit more and focus on their accomplishments with the past. But at the same time, if none of your older talent is willing to come back for this event at WrestleCon, how are you going to be selling tickets? How are you going to be booking these matches if literally there are no talent there to be able to book matches? And my concern going forward with this show is if you don't have things organized, how are you going to sell tickets? How are you going to promote this? I don't. It's not that I don't love TNA, Impact Wrestling, because I do, and I appreciate their accomplishments, but this just is so not gonna work if you don't have things organized here. And that's where we're going with this right now. Now, I'm not saying that it's Don West's fault. I'm not saying that it's creative management's fault. I'm not even saying it's Tommy Dreamer's problem. I'm just saying that as a wrestling fan, there is literally no official matches booked. The talent has no idea what's even going on for the show going into this. Um, so we'll move on from that to what do I think about Ring of Honor lately. Ring of Honor honestly has been really impressive as far as matches and the tag team division. I like that people are finally getting pushed that have not been given those opportunities. Matt Taven is still out with an injury, and so we're probably not going to be seeing him anytime soon. Um, Other news, MLW has been working with a few other talents as well as Austin Aries. And oh yeah, I wanted to also mention that Austin Aries had showed up on Dynamite. There is no news yet as far as AEW having contract negotiations with Austin Aries, but if they go forward and if they want to sign Austin Aries, I am all for that because Austin Aries is a guy that can go. He can wrestle like a machine. He understands the world of professional wrestling, and that would be great for AEW going forward. AEW right now really needs a lot of experience as far as talent, and if they get Matt Hardy and Austin Aries, there you go. There's two guys who can really go and push your company to the top levels. Um, so we'll talk a little bit about NXT. NXT lately, I think, has been really good. We've had some great rivalries. The last pay per view, Portland, I think, was probably a 7.5. Uh, Johnny Wrestling turned on Tommaso Ciampa, which cost him the championship match against Adam Cole. I think the Undisputed Era has gained a lot of uh, popularity over the last year and a half. I think that it's time to let those guys be on SmackDown. Move them up. They deserve that opportunity. Even Tommaso Ciampa, I think, deserves that opportunity. We saw the return of the Velveteen Dream on this past week's episode of NXT. I think that's good for his career as well. Um, I'm also hearing that EC3 is in a dispute legally with his name with WWE, apparently. He's voiced his opinion about wanting to leave the company, and I think that that is the best thing for EC3 right now if he can get out of this contract and move on with his wrestling career. AEW, there you go. That would be a perfect spot for EC3 because they would really appreciate his accomplishments in the wrestling. They would push him the way that he's supposed to be pushed. I mean, even Chris Jericho has said, even on his show, that he thinks EC3 has everything to be a successful wrestler in this business if he was given the opportunities. And WWE has floundered his career. They have smashed him into the ground so that he has nothing to do. And that is not what EC3 should be doing. EC3 should be pushed. Um, and I've thought that for years. This guy is a great, great, in ring performer. Um, so with that, I'll be doing a little bit more research as far as some of the WrestleMania stuff going on for you guys. Tonight is SmackDown Live, and all I know is Bella Twins, some type of interview with Goldberg. A few tag team matches have been booked. The match between Naomi and Carmella has been booked. And then some type of segments, Alexa Bliss with the Bella Twins. Apparently, Nikki Cross has not even been advertised for this. Originally, she was supposed to be involved in the interview, but they took her off TV for some reason, which I don't get. They've not even said anything about it. Um, and maybe we'll build a little bit more rivalry between this Daniel Bryan and Sheamus thing, possibly eventually here, because that's gonna happen, I guess, at Mania apparently. Uh, SmackDown has been really good lately. I have been pretty impressed. Um, oh yeah, and one more thing: The Undertaker has been at the Performance Center. He's been interviewed about possibly having a WrestleMania match against the phenomenal AJ Styles. That is your wrestling news so far. I will be updating the WrestleMania and Revolution pay per views going forward, and anything to do with the world of professional wrestling, I will be right back within probably the next week or two to follow up WrestleMania and Revolution, and get you guys up to date on what is going on in AEW, Ring of Honor, TNA, WWE, and MLW, and a few other promotions. Peace, much love, and good day.